Hi guys, Godwin Obaseki talks about agriculture. He gives in-depth analysis. He talks about how he's going to leverage the human capital of Edo State together with the investors in such a way that agriculture is not just going to be a job creation machinery per se. It's also going to be a huge business conglomerate. Like, you need to listen to him and you know that he really knows what he's talking about, and he has fundamental ideas of how to make agriculture a huge success in Edo State.
Let's think about it this way. Nigeria is such a blessed country. But sometimes we do real crazy things. We spend almost 15 to 18 billion US dollars importing food items into this country every year. Right? And think about it. What are we buying from outside that we cannot grow ourselves? I mean, that's a whole lot of money. So that's what. So when we talk about agriculture, you've got to think about it from that perspective. That there's a huge demand internally, but that demand is being largely met by imports. And for us, it was cool because we had petrodollars. We had dollars we earned from just selling crude oil. But now we're not selling as much crude oil, and so we don't have the dollars, and so we can't import the food. And so it's time to step back and say, wait a minute, we've been really crazy, How come we spend $500 million importing fish and chicken? It doesn't make sense. We spend $300 million importing milk. We don't have enough cows to produce milk here. So when you begin to think about agriculture from that perspective, you then see there's a huge business in agriculture, which we are not enjoying. So it's unfortunate. It's hard for us, but here's an opportunity to now begin to domesticate a lot of that production. There are approximately 200 million people in this country, if you count those, from the sub-region who come and feed them. If 10% of our population eat chicken every day, how many chicken do we have to grow to feed ourselves daily? 20 million, right? That's quite a lot. And we have an opportunity to produce that. How much does it take to produce chicken? How long does it take to produce a chicken? Right? Is it not feeds and a hatchery and electricity? That's it. So first, we've got to think about agriculture as business, and a viable one at that matter. And for it to be like any business, you have to understand how much money you will make, profit you'll make. The reason why agriculture became unprofitable is that we started thinking about agriculture as a social service in this country at one time. Because of all the subsidies and fertilizer and, crazy things we did. But if I know that, hey, wait a minute, I can sell a ton of chicken at X amount, right? It now behoves on me, I have a contract to sell 50 tons of chicken at X naira, right? And I do my work, my arithmetic. And I can lobby government, I can take care. If I can produce 50 tons of chicken, please, if you guys want to, right? Please. If I need to produce chicken at Y, minus X naira, then I will do my work, do my economics, and produce as much chicken as I can. So the point I'm making is, for agriculture, there is now a new impetus for agriculture in Nigeria, because there exists a huge market for agricultural product, and particularly if we can organize it properly. The interesting thing is that agriculture cannot exist in a vacuum. It's got to be done and operated in states. There's no federal land, there's no federal farm. The Land Use Act vests land on state governments. So a lot of the agriculture has to occur in states. And what does it take for you to have agriculture as a business? It's about thinking about offtake, Am I competitive in this product? How much can I produce a particular product, and how much can I sell it, and therefore how much money can I make? Agriculture sustained Nigeria up to the 70s because you had a whole chain. You had marketing boards that determined the price of a product at the beginning of the season. So the farmer decided how how to produce. So as a kid, my great-grandmother used to have a cocoa farm. At the end of the season, she came in over Christmas and gave us money, and that was her profit she got from selling cocoa to the commodity boards, who had set a price for her at the beginning of the season. So what we need to think about is we can't bring back commodity boards overnight. But in Edo State, the way we're thinking about agriculture is we have large commercial farms. We've given out 150,000 hectares of land already to about 8 investors, 8 commercial investors. On the 29th, a group will be launching theirs, and I hope you guys can, it's going to trend, and I want you guys to look at it. So we've given out about 150,000 hectares across a variety of crops. Some people want to do long-dated crops like palm and rubber. Some want to do medium-dated ones like cassava, and some want to do short-dated ones like grains, rice, maize. And we've keyed into the federal government program, and Edo is now an anchor state. When you say an anchor state in some commodities, what does that mean? It means, therefore, that if you have large farmers who are cultivating large areas, so we give a guy 10,000 hectares of land, and 10,000 hectares is a lot of land. It's almost about 10 square miles. It's a lot of land. He clearly cannot use hoe and shovel to cultivate that. So he needs to get mechanization, that land has to be prepared. In some cases, he needs to put in irrigation so that he can improve his yield. He needs to have the right seedlings. He needs to have high quality agronomic advice to make sure the output, he has the right output to make the money he needs to make. So I'm talking at a very high level. So I need to bring in somebody who knows how to grow rice on a large scale, right, from Thailand, right? So I give him 10,000 hectares. But he's not going to cultivate 10,000 hectares overnight. So I'm saying, you know what, of this 10,000 hectares, give 5,000 to my people. Break them up into lots of 10 hectares or 20 hectares. So I can get you to be an investor in a 10 hectare piece. I give you the title, right? So you have an asset. You can go borrow money with that. That guy gives you a contract to buy your paddies, right? Your rice paddies. You don't have money to buy a meal. You're not going to be economic to have a meal. So he buys your paddies. What does it take? You have a tractor, you have the tractor service, you lease the tractor, you get your cousins and they plow the place, they give you the rice seeds, you grow, the yields are high if you do the right things, and at the end of the season, you're able to come back and harvest your paddies at X amount, and you make your money because somebody has given you a contract. So I can get 5,000 kids or 1,000 kids working with their friends and family to just get into agriculture, and it's not going to be that gruesome as it used to be because they're not going to use hoe and